A foreign widow. No money, no future, no hope. She had every reason to walk away, to return to her own people, to forget the broken family she had married into. Instead, she made a choice that rewrote history. 3,000 years later, her blood flows in the veins of Jesus Christ. This is Ruth, the outsider who became an ancestor of the Messiah, and her story begins with a funeral. In the days when the judges ruled, there was a famine in Israel. It was a dark era, a time of spiritual chaos when everyone did what was right in his own eyes. And now, the land that should have flowed with milk and honey produced only dust. In Bethlehem, the house of bread, there was no bread. A man named Elimelech made a desperate decision. He took his wife Naomi and their 2 sons, Mahlon and Chilion, and fled east to Moab. Moab was enemy territory. The Moabites had opposed Israel since the wilderness wanderings. For a Hebrew family to seek refuge there was an act of desperation, perhaps faithlessness. But Elimelech went, and in Moab he died. Naomi was left with her 2 sons in a foreign land. The boys did what their father had done. They married local women. Mahlon took a wife named Ruth. Chilion married Orpah. For 10 years, this fractured family tried to build a life in exile. Then death struck again. Both Mahlon and Chilion died, leaving 3 widows and no children. Naomi had lost everything. Her husband was in the grave. Her sons were in the grave. She had no grandchildren to comfort her old age. In that culture, a woman without men was a woman without protection, without provision, without future. Widows were among the most vulnerable people in the ancient world. When Naomi heard that the famine in Israel had ended, she decided to return home. But what about Ruth and Orpah? They were Moabites. Their families, their gods, their futures were in Moab. Why would they follow a bitter old woman to a land that despised their people? Naomi understood this. As they began the journey, she stopped and spoke with painful honesty. "Go back, each of you, to your mother's house. May the Lord deal kindly with you, as you have dealt with the dead and with me. May the Lord grant you rest in the house of another husband." She kissed them. They wept together. Both daughters-in-law protested. "No, we will return with you to your people." But Naomi pressed harder. "Turn back, my daughters. Why will you go with me? Have I more sons in my womb to become your husbands? I am too old. Even if I had hope, even if I bore sons tonight, would you wait until they were grown? No, my daughters, it is exceedingly bitter to me, for the hand of the Lord has gone out against me." They wept again. Orpah kissed her mother-in-law goodbye and turned back toward Moab. Scripture does not condemn her. She made the sensible choice. But Ruth clung to Naomi. The Hebrew word suggests a fierce, desperate grip. The same word used when Genesis says, "A man shall leave his father and mother and cling to his wife." Ruth held on with the tenacity of a bride refusing to release her groom. "See," Naomi said, "your sister-in-law has gone back to her people and to her gods. Return after her." But Ruth spoke words that have echoed through 3,000 years of human history. "Do not urge me to leave you or to return from following you. For where you go, I will go, and where you lodge, I will lodge. Your people shall be my people, and your God, my God. Where you die, I will die, and there will I be buried. May the Lord do so to me, and more also, if anything but death parts me from you." Consider what Ruth was saying. She was abandoning her homeland for a foreign country. She was leaving her Moabite identity to join a nation that despised Moabites. She was forsaking Chemosh, the god of her fathers, to worship the Lord. She was committing not just to a journey, but to a lifetime. Not just to the good days, but to the grave itself. This was conversion. This was covenant. This was faith reaching into the unknown. When Naomi saw that Ruth was determined, she said no more. The two women walked to Bethlehem, a journey of many days through dangerous territory. Two unprotected widows, carrying what little they had, sleeping in the open, trusting God for every step. When they arrived, the whole town was stirred. The women said, "Is this Naomi?" But Naomi was not the woman who had left. "Do not call me Naomi," she said. "Call me Mara, for the Almighty has dealt very bitterly with me. I went away full, and the Lord has brought me back empty." Naomi meant pleasant. Mara meant bitter. She was renaming herself according to her pain. But standing beside her, invisible to her grief-blinded eyes, was the treasure that would redeem everything. They arrived at the beginning of barley harvest, and Ruth immediately took action. She did not sit in self-pity. She volunteered for the back-breaking work of gleaning, following behind harvesters to gather whatever scraps they left behind. The law of Moses commanded that landowners leave the edges of their fields and the fallen grain for the poor, the widow, and the foreigner. Ruth was all three. "Let me go to the field and glean," she told Naomi. "Go, my daughter." So Ruth went out. And she happened to come to the field belonging to Boaz, a wealthy landowner who was a relative of Naomi's dead husband. She happened to come. From Ruth's perspective, it was random chance. From heaven's perspective, it was divine appointment. Boaz arrived from Bethlehem to inspect the harvest. He greeted his workers with blessing. "The Lord be with you." They answered, "The Lord bless you." This was a man of faith. Then his eyes fell on Ruth. "Whose young woman is this?" he asked his foreman. "She is the Moabite who came back with Naomi," the servant replied. She asked permission to glean, and has worked from early morning with barely a rest. Boaz approached her. "Listen, my daughter, do not go to glean in another field. Stay here with my young women. I have ordered the men not to touch you. When you are thirsty, drink from the water my servants have drawn." Ruth fell on her face, bowing to the ground. "Why have I found favor in your eyes, that you should notice me, since I am a foreigner?" Boaz answered with words that revealed how far her reputation had spread. "All that you have done for your mother-in-law since your husband died has been fully told to me. How you left your father and mother and your native land, and came to a people you did not know before. May the Lord repay you for what you have done. May a full reward be given you by the Lord, the God of Israel, under whose wings you have come to take refuge." Under whose wings? Remember these words. They will return. Boaz invited Ruth to eat with his workers. He passed her roasted grain. She ate until satisfied. Then he secretly instructed his men, "Let her glean even among the sheaves. Pull out grain from the bundles and leave it for her. Do not rebuke her." By the way, if you find any of these videos interesting or enjoyable, please consider subscribing. These take a long time to make, and it really helps out. That evening, Ruth beat out what she had gathered. It was about 30 pounds of barley. an extraordinary amount for a single day. She returned to Naomi, who was astonished. "Where did you glean today? Blessed be the man who noticed you." Ruth told her everything. The man's name is Boaz. Naomi's voice changed. For the first time since Moab, hope crept into her words. "May he be blessed by the Lord, whose kindness has not forsaken the living or the dead." The man is a close relative of ours. He is one of our redeemers. A redeemer, in Hebrew, Goel, one of the most important concepts in Israelite law. A Goel was a kinsman with the right and responsibility to rescue a relative from difficulty. He could buy back lost land. He could pay a relative's debts. He could marry a widow to continue the family line. Boaz was a Goel. He had the legal right to redeem Naomi's family, to restore what famine and death had stolen, to give Ruth a future and a hope. Ruth continued gleaning in Boaz's field through the barley harvest and the wheat harvest. Weeks passed. Naomi watched, and she began to form a plan. "My daughter, should I not seek rest for you, that it may go well with you? Is not Boaz our relative? See, he is winnowing barley tonight at the threshing floor." Naomi's instructions were bold. Ruth was to wash, anoint herself with oil, put on her best clothes, and go to the threshing floor, where Boaz would sleep after the celebration. She was to note where he lay down, then uncover his feet and lie there. This was not immoral. Ruth was not sneaking into his bed for an illicit encounter. She was placing herself at his feet in a posture of humble submission, silently asking if he would exercise his right as Redeemer. It was a proposal wrapped in vulnerability. "All that you say, I will do," Ruth answered. That night, she crept to the threshing floor. She watched Boaz eat and drink until his heart was merry. She saw where he lay down at the edge of the grain pile. Then she came softly, uncovered his feet, and lay down. At midnight, Boaz stirred. He turned over and found a woman at his feet. "Who are you?" he whispered into the darkness. "I am Ruth, your servant. Spread your wings over your servant, for you are a redeemer." Spread your wings. She was echoing his own blessing from their first meeting. He had spoken of God's wings of refuge. Now she was asking him to become the human embodiment of that divine protection. She was asking him to redeem her. Boaz's response revealed his character. "May you be blessed by the Lord, my daughter. You have made this last kindness greater than the first, in that you have not gone after young men, whether poor or rich. Do not fear. I will do for you all that you ask. All my fellow townsmen know that you are a worthy woman." A worthy woman. The same phrase used in Proverbs to describe the ideal wife. Ruth's reputation was spotless. But there was a complication. "It is true that I am a redeemer," Boaz continued. "Yet there is a redeemer nearer than I. Remain tonight. In the morning, if he will redeem you, good. But if he is not willing, then, as the Lord lives, I will redeem you." Another kinsman had a closer legal claim. The law had to be followed. Ruth lay at his feet until morning, then slipped away before dawn. Boaz protected her reputation, but he did not send her home empty. He filled her cloak with 6 measures of barley, a sign of his intentions. When Ruth told Naomi everything, the older woman smiled. "Wait, my daughter, until you learn how the matter turns out. The man will not rest until he settles this today. Naomi knew Boaz. That morning, Boaz went to the city gate where legal matters were decided. He gathered 10 elders as witnesses, and by providence, the nearer Redeemer walked by. Boaz called him over. He presented the case. Naomi is selling the land that belonged to Elimelech. You have the first right to buy it. Will you redeem it? The man agreed. Land was wealth. Land was legacy. I will redeem it. Then Boaz revealed the full picture. The day you buy the field from Naomi, you also acquire Ruth the Moabite, the widow of the dead, in order to perpetuate the name of the dead in his inheritance. The land came with an obligation. Any children Ruth bore would inherit the property in her dead husband's name, not the Redeemer's. He would be paying for land that would belong to another man's line. The cost was too high. The Redeemer withdrew. I cannot redeem it for myself, lest I impair my own inheritance. Take my right of redemption yourself. He removed his sandal and handed it to Boaz, the ancient sign of transferring property rights. Then he walked out of history, unnamed and forgotten. Boaz stood before the elders. You are witnesses this day that I have bought from Naomi all that belonged to Elimelech, and all that belonged to his sons. Also Ruth the Moabite I have bought to be my wife, to perpetuate the name of the dead in his inheritance. You are witnesses. The people blessed them with words that proved prophetic. May the Lord make this woman like Rachel and Leah, who together built up the house of Israel. May your house be like the house of Perez, whom Tamar bore to Judah, because of the offspring the Lord will give you by this young woman. Boaz took Ruth as his wife. The Lord opened her womb. She bore a son. The women of Bethlehem gathered around Naomi. Blessed be the Lord, who has not left you this day without a redeemer. May his name be renowned in Israel. He shall be to you a restorer of life, and a nourisher of your old age. For your daughter-in-law who loves you, who is more to you than 7 sons, has given birth to him. More than 7 sons. In a culture that prized sons above all else, this was the highest compliment. Ruth's love exceeded the value of a perfect family. Naomi took the child and laid him on her lap. The woman who had called herself bitter now held joy in her arms. The widow who claimed God had emptied her was overflowing. They named him Obed. Obed was the father of Jesse. Jesse was the father of David. A Moabite widow, gleaning for scraps in a Bethlehem field, became the great-grandmother of Israel's greatest king. And from David's line, 1,000 years later, came Jesus Christ, born in that same Bethlehem, the true Redeemer of the world. The story of Ruth is a gospel story. We were foreigners, strangers to the covenant, without hope and without God. Like Ruth, we had no claim on divine blessing. Like Ruth, we deserved nothing from the God of Israel. But there was a Redeemer. Jesus Christ is our Boaz. He saw us gleaning in the poverty of this fallen world, desperate for scraps, hopeless and helpless. He noticed us when we expected to be overlooked. He protected us when we were vulnerable. He provided for us far beyond what we deserved. And at infinite cost to himself, he redeemed us. Boaz paid silver to acquire Ruth. Christ paid his blood to acquire us. Boaz spread his wings over a foreign widow. Christ spreads his wings over all who come to him. Boaz lifted Ruth from the fields into his own home. Christ lifts us from death into eternal life. The kinsman redeemer had to be a relative, close enough to have the legal right. Jesus became flesh, became our brother, became close enough to save. The kinsman redeemer had to be willing. Jesus laid down his life willingly. The kinsman redeemer had to pay the price. Jesus paid it all. Where you go, I will go. Your people shall be my people. Your God, my God. These are the words of every soul that leaves the old life to follow Christ. We cling to him as Ruth clung to Naomi. We forsake our former gods as Ruth forsook Chemosh. We step into the unknown, trusting that the Redeemer who calls us will also keep us. Perhaps you feel like Ruth today, far from home, gleaning for scraps in a life that has not turned out as planned, wondering if anyone sees your faithfulness, your struggle, your quiet perseverance in the hard places. There is a Redeemer. He knows your story. He sees what no one else sees. And he is inviting you to take refuge under his wings. Perhaps you feel like Naomi, bitter, empty, convinced that God has turned against you. Look again. Standing beside you, perhaps invisible to your grief-blinded eyes, may be the very person, the very circumstance, the very answer you have been too wounded to recognize. God was not finished with Naomi. He is not finished with you. Or perhaps you are the other Redeemer, the unnamed man who walked away when the cost was too high. You have heard the gospel. You know what is required. But the price seems too great, the sacrifice too demanding, the commitment too complete. Do not walk away. Do not remove your sandal and hand your redemption to someone else. The cost of following Christ is high, but the cost of refusing him is infinitely higher. Ruth's story reminds us that God's grace crosses every boundary we construct. She was a Moabite, and the law said no Moabite could enter the assembly of the Lord. Yet she became an ancestor of the Messiah. She was a widow with nothing, yet she gained everything. She was a foreigner, yet she became family. If God could redeem Ruth, he can redeem you. If God could use a Moabite widow to fulfill his eternal purposes, he can use anyone. Your past does not disqualify you. Your foreignness does not exclude you. Your emptiness is exactly what he came to fill. Spread your wings over your servant, for you are a Redeemer. That ancient prayer still rises to heaven today, and the answer is still yes. Come to him. Cling to him. He will not let you go. If you have not subscribed yet, please do not forget to do so. It really helps us continue providing you with amazing videos like this.